Today is Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month of May, and I'm doing, usually I have Claudia Doza, who's here, but she's actually on a retreat myself, so I'm waiting for a couple of things to happen. Some people to come on. So, okay, so we're good. So, yes, live. It's also Mental Health Awareness Month, and so and up, I didn't really. Then you know that I start off with a meditation, and then after I do the meditation, then I go into doing an intuitive piece of artwork, and so I have my watercolor inks and acrylic inks, and I will. I'll start this whole process in a little bit, and so, but back when I do a different. You know, it's got a double narrative that I rethink, not reinvent myself, but what the is to me. And so with congruent with the settings, like yeah, there's where it's and the I think about his on the Oprah show. If you're here, go ahead. Hey, I know my monthly live have this month, and how like those two kind of go together really. Talking about that, you know, our path, like the reason that we're here is divinely guided, and sometimes we can kind of stray off from that path. And so when we're clear, when we have that clarity of mind, that and we're congruent within ourselves, that we can actually kind of continue to move forward and live our best life. And so that's kind of where I am today. So anyway, I'm going to get started. I'm going to do a short meditation. Short meaning up to, I don't know, 10 minutes. I'll do it intuitively. And so just get comfortable and grab some tea or whatever I have. I have my little mug right here, and some paper and some colored pencils and things like that. And then we'll get started in a little bit after the meditation. So go ahead and put where you're watching from in the chat, and so we'll get started. All right. Thanks so much. So we are going to get seated. Think about like think about our breath. Allow yourself to actually be bored. The ground is supporting you into the fact, offer it a sensitivity that it's as we're sitting here, let's think about kind of move our foot. Does it shift? If we're watching Sleeping Kit, let's do a quick body scan. Let's breathe into it. Breathe into the detention there. Is there any tension in any of those areas? And into our thighs. Into our stomach. Just back down your arms. Release. At the top of our head, let's into just open. Let's make an action on all of our thoughts to clear out all of our worries, all of our stress. And allow us, that's out in the universe, to open up for us to connect. Please go ahead and do so. I'm not really saying just receiving things that I'm not quite ready yet for. And that's first. Kind of exploring so going out into the universe and just a bit like what's in front of us, what's above us, what's to the right of us or below us. Just take a look thinking, but you can just kind of like you can just feel intelligent. the world plane, back into our country, our state, into our city, to our street, home, wherever which we are. Now, when we get to 1, we'll open our eyes and we'll be back in our 3, 2, and 1. For being here. And I was starting to wonder, starting to think about like what and allow it to, you can see right there, yep. And so I will be right back. I have to go grab something. And so I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to use, usually I do like colored pencils or something like that. When I'm thinking about clarity, the colors, I've been thinking about it for the last couple of days. I'm wondering like what the, there we go. How's that? Okay. I'm gonna turn it this way. And clarity, I don't know why, but clarity makes me feel, I think of blue, and this is some cyan, some watercolor that I think I'm just gonna kind of play with a little bit. And just do some like really abstract type of work. Abstract. This is a mop brush. I don't know what clarity is meaning for me right now, but I'm enjoying this color. Actually enjoying this watercolor process because it's feels like a rainbow. Not a rainbow, like a what's it called? Like a river. Like this is just kind of flowing down a river. Let me see what else I have here. That's acrylic. These are watercolor. This is just kind of going through my stuff. I also have some India ink here. And let me see what else. Oh, this is acrylic. I have this too. This is also some Scarlet India ink. It's kind of hard to open. Let me see. There we go. I have some watercolor pencils. That I could also utilize. And I'm just kind of exploring. I'm gonna come over here and do this. This is a plum kind of color. And see what happens. You know, a lot of the time when people are doing art, there's like an intention behind what they're doing, and sometimes it's totally okay to just explore and not even really have any intention. I have been thinking about what I've wanted to do for the last couple of days, and I just really felt like I just wanted to play, to allow myself to explore. And I encourage you, without any like real intention of, oh, I have to do this, or I have to find something, I have to like really have a goal in mind. And that's just not where I am today. I don't. Yeah. I literally just want to play. Just play. And see what happens. And so I also have this India ink, which is, this one is actually black. So it's interesting kind of watching how this is dispersing through the whole thing. I think I'm gonna come back in with some of my cyan. There we go. And just play. You know, do you know that if you put salt on watercolor that it actually makes a different design? And some people may know that, some people may not. So thinking about going to grab some salt. I'll be right back. There's some salt right here that I'm gonna. See how it changes. And sometimes, you know, clarity is actually walking through the process before you get there. See how that kind of soaks it all up? I'm gonna come in over here and add some things with my, I've got these watercolor markers. I have other watercolor markers too. Maybe I'll come in and do those. Come over here. You know, it's like sometimes complementary colors are also a good contrast as well. Like coming in and doing, oops. Careful when you're doing watercolor markers, because especially with wet watercolor, because you'll mess up your markers. There we go. Oops, see? There you go. I totally ruined my marker. Oh no. Oops. Oh, okay. That's gonna take me a minute to get that out of there. Yeah. What else can I do? I have the blues and the teals. I don't know. How about this? Oh yeah. Just doing different designs. See what happens. Know that so later on when this dries and I'm able to take all of the salt off, it will look like that. So what happens is the salt, when you put it on there, it actually soaks up the water and then it pulls the water away from those particular places. So that's kind of what's happening there, which is kind of fun and offers totally different perspectives on stuff. It offers a like texture in watercolor, which is not something that is, I mean, you can have lots of texture, but a lot of the time you have to draw it in or paint it in. So this is just one of those things where I'm like, okay, let me just explore. So what does clarity look like? And sometimes clarity looks like releasing, where you're like releasing things that no longer serve you. And I have a webinar coming up later on this month on the last Friday of the month at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I believe it is the 29th, the 30th. Sorry, it's the 30th. And you can go to my link tree, which is on my Instagram. I'm sorry, I'm on my YouTube, which is on my YouTube bio, and sign up for it now. Yeah. trying to think, like, what do I want to do next? I do want this yellow, though, for whatever reason. All right. So, yeah, every month I do, at the last Friday of the month, I do a webinar on different things. This month it's on clarity of mind, clarity of direction in life. The kind of people that I work with are primarily women, but people who are ready for that next phase in their life, figuring out what it is that they want to do, and really narrowing it down and understanding that there's that they do already have, you know, everything that it takes. Sometimes we just have to release things in the middle that we're working with in the meantime. We have to let go of old patterns, old beliefs, old thought processes, and that no longer serve us, because those are the things that hold us back, you know? And sometimes it's the little things, and little things can be things, depending. So alright, there we get some yellow going on. I typically do not put all of these colors together, but today I am, and I'm alright with that. And so I hope that you are able to do some art along with me. And today I'm just doing, I am doing watercolor. And I'm playing with warm and cool colors. Primarily cool colors with a little bit of contrast with the warm. And that is okay. And I also have a program that I'm offering called the Bridge to Authenticity program. And it's a 6-month program that allows you to lean into your most authentic self and learn how to embody who you truly are. And focus on the next direction that you want to go in your life. And, you know, ultimately, we are, you know, all here to fulfill our highest purpose. Whatever that looks like is different for each one of us. And then leaning into what that does look like for each one of us can sometimes be really challenging, because, you know, we've got all the social constructs of, you know, what the expectations are of who we should be and what we should be doing and all of that kind of nonsense. And it's one of those ideas as I'm remembering which marker I totally messed up. Give me a second here. I think it's this one. No, is it not that one? Maybe it's this one. Huh. I must have done a really good job cleaning that off. Nope, that's not it. Is this it? Nope, that's too dark too. So yeah, so the bridge to authenticity is about leaning into our truest self. There we go. And what does that look like? Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes that can be a whole lot more complicated than what we had thought about. Because, you know, we have life experiences. Sometimes we have like, you know, hard experiences that keep us from really like leaning into our most authentic self. We get a little scared to share who we truly are. This is not the right color. We get a little scared sharing who we truly are. No, that's not the right color either. I'll find it, I promise. I think it may be this one, actually. It is that one, okay. And so, and I know that there are a lot of people out there who, you know, are already lean into who they truly are, but there are a lot of people out there who haven't quite gotten there yet and maybe need a little boost. Maybe they've had some hard moments in life and forgot who they came, you know, what their true mission has been. I don't really see anything in this. Yeah. Just trying to get all the little spaces. All the little nooks and crannies, as I like to call them. This orange is a pretty complement for these purples, and I think I'm gonna go around this. Yeah. Oh geez, there I go again. So yeah, so this is kind of where I am today. Doing something that is uniquely and authentically something I've never. Oh geez. This poor marker. So I think that's where I am right now. I'm just gonna kind of, it's still a little bit wet, and there are spots in it so that maybe I could soak up a little bit. Let me see. And so see, these are kind of the areas that sometimes we can come in and go, oh. Right? Well, that's kind of interesting how that after I took some of it out, it's showing up in a different way. I like it a little bit better, huh? Yeah. Okay, I don't know what else I'm gonna do with this. Maybe come in with a different, oh, I've got these other markers here, don't I? Yeah, I do. How about, coming in and doing a little bit of, I have these woody markers that I absolutely love. A friend of mine gave me last year. And they're a ton of fun. And you just kind of come in and fill in wherever you want to. Yeah, just playing. And who knows what I'll even do with this. If I can, maybe I'll tear it up and turn it into something else. But I'm actually really liking the purples and the blues against the orange, or the orange against the purples and blues. It's really kind of fun for me. Not something that I would typically do. And I'm glad I tried it. I'm actually gonna come in here with a little bit of water and see what happens. So, adding this kind of purple, this like red violet in with this, yeah. Okay. Didn't really come out. So I think I'm done now. And I appreciate you being here and participating in this. I hope you had allowed yourself the freedom of just or so I will put my information down below in the description of the, that's all, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you have the month on any questions, and nope, on Friday, I also have